welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is all about highlighting and contouring with the LA Pro Girl concealer. So what I have here is the concealer in Fawn that I'm going to use as my highlighter, and the contour I'm going to use a dark cocoa shade. So as you can see, it's here contouring my face, and I'm going to say that I do love this result. So if you want to see how I got it, then stick around.
You like it when I get aggressive. Tell you to go slow.
So I'm going to start with the concealer in the color Fawn. So I'm going to use this to highlight my face. So I'm just going to draw lines all over in the relevant highlight areas, and then we'll see what that looks like. So I'm just going in a triangular shape underneath my eye, and I'm going to drag it out to almost my hairline, but not quite, just so I can have a bit of extension on my face, just to make it a bit narrower in the end. So I chose the color Fawn because I think it's light enough to like really flatten my face, but not too light that it looks unrealistic. So I hope that's where it's supposed to reach in the contour sections. I don't really know what I'm doing, but yeah, I've seen this done before and it seems pretty easy, so I just want to test it out and see. But the problem is it does dry a little fast, so I have to use a damp beauty blender to like blend it in. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make this work. So if you're curious about how to make it look natural and not crazy like this, then stick around. So I'm just gonna take the dark cocoa and use it to contour my face. I'm gonna sort of suck in my cheeks, like in order to have the exact position where the contour should be, and then we're gonna see what that looks like. So I'm just going to go in with my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to start with the highlighter. So what I'm going to do is use the pointy end of my beauty blender just to blend it into my face. It doesn't need to completely disappear from what I've seen from other makeup gurus on YouTube, so I'm just going to make it look a bit more natural. And then I'm going to go in with the bottom end of my beauty blender because it's a bit flatter than the pointy end. So I'm going to push my contour up, because you're supposed to blend it upwards into your skin and not down, or to make your face look a bit too sunken or something. I don't really understand. But yeah, it sort of makes your cheekbones stand out more, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go about it in dabbing motions. I'm not just going to swipe it across my face because I don't really want it to be streaky. So I'm just going to dab it in and keep dabbing until it sort of blends into the rest of my foundation. So I'm just going to continue blending in the sides of my nose with the highlight on my cheeks, just so there's some sort of continuous flow to it, as opposed to like some straight line demarcation of where the contour is and the highlight and whatever. Also, a quick tip that I learned is that apparently when you have a forehead that's kind of large like mine, you really shouldn't extend your highlight too far, or it extends your forehead. So if you use a small little patch with your highlighter, it sort of makes your forehead come down a bit, and then use more contour on the edges so that it can make it seem like your hairline is sort of more forward, if that makes any sense. I'll say that the one thing that I have noticed noticed with the LA Pro Girl concealers, with both of the colors, is that they do dry out quite fast. So you really do have to use this a damp beauty blender, or you'll sort of be streaking it all over your face and it won't look cute. So that's why I'm sort of squeezing out whatever dampness is left inside this to liquidate the dry formula on my forehead and mix it in better. So I actually think that's pretty well blended. I mean, obviously, it's not perfect. You can kind of see where the sponge is, especially when you have a view as up close as I do with a mirror. I like this contour. So since I'm going in with the Black Opal finishing powder, I know I should be using setting powder, but this is what I have, so this is what I'm going to attempt to do it with. And it is in medium. The color medium, I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just going to dust it along my face, and hopefully it's sort of like, if there's any areas that have a way too defined differences between the highlight and the contour, this will sort of blend them in and make it all better. So I'm going to try and go in with a brush first. But because I'm not the biggest fan of brushes, I already see this not quite working out. So I think I'll have to go in with a sponge and just dust it over. But since it is loose powder, I think a brush is a fair start. So I'm literally going to get just a tiny, like this is way too much product. So I'm going to shake it off, like dust it off. I see people blowing it off, but like I don't really want to waste my product that way. But yeah, I think now that it's more in this amount, I can sort of blow it off a bit. And then take my mirror and sort of go over just to sort of set it. And yeah, hopefully you can actually see a contour, because the one issue that I do have with this is that I barely see the contour. So maybe dark cocoa is just, is it too close to my skin tone? I don't know. I don't quite understand that. But yeah, I mean, on the camera, it kind of looks like it shows up, but in real life, it blends in a bit too much. I think I would, in reality, have to go in with a bronzer and sort of add that definition. But since this is the finishing powder that I do have, I'm just going to go over my highlighted areas just so it doesn't lighten up the contour even more. Then I'm going to gently dust under the contour area just to lighten that up. Actually, I think I should highlight that a bit just to see, maybe. Let me see if it makes any sort of difference before I add the powder. So I'm just going to go back in with my fawn and go under the area that I contoured and highlight that just so there's some difference between the two pieces. And I think I will add some contour just to make myself happy, because I'm really not seeing this in the mirror. And I really do want to. So I think the moral of this story is that unless you have fairly light skin, the dark cocoa may not show up on you at all. May or may not. So I'm going to go into my beauty blender. I'm not going to blend it in too much, just so I have more product laying on the skin, just so it can appear a bit darker. Once it dries and sets, it will look a bit more natural, and I'm sure later on the day as it oxidizes, I think it will look I'm going to go in with more finishing powder. I've just added a little bit onto the thing, but that's still way too much, so I have to reduce it. Yeah, something more like this, and just go over the parts that I've highlighted at the bottom here. And I'm going to go in with clean sponge and just dust off the excess. Not really wiping, not brushing. You'll see like there's absolutely no product that comes over here. I'm just trying to dust off the excess finishing powder. So that is the end result. This is what my highlight and contour looks like. I hope it doesn't look too crazy on camera, because in person it actually looks quite believable. I know this side has a bit of a straight line, but I do like it because it does blend into the highlight quite well. So yeah, I hope my face actually does look contoured. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below to let me know what your process is. If you've ever used the LA Pro Girl Concealer as a contour kit, and let me know what your favorite contour kit is actually, because I do want to get my hands on the sleek one, but I haven't been able to get it in Nairobi, which is very disappointing. So now I am stuck using these two, but I cannot complain because they have served me well today. I think after adding the extra layer of dark cocoa as my contour, I'm quite happy with it. I initially thought fawn was a bit too light for my shade, but now that it's blended in and mixed in smoothly and whatever, and also the setting powder being in the color medium, as much as it is translucent, it sort of does help blend it into the rest of the face. So yeah, with all of those factors, I'm quite happy with the end result. And I hope you like it. I hope you found this helpful as a beginner contour tutorial sort of thing. And yeah, like I said, I'll be teaching as I learn. So each new thing, I will try to put it up on my channel. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see after, and I'll see you in my next video.